Hello again everybody, this is Amorgin and you're very welcome back to another Star Trek Fleet Command. So guys, I recently hit level 28 as some of you may be aware, and this has meant that a ship that I had all the blueprints for that I hadn't built, not those two, it's coming up very shortly. This beautiful ship is getting a bit of a reputation for being quite good with critical hit crew, and I've been using the critical hit crew with Gorkin recently, so I think I'm about to build it, guys. I think I'm about to bite the bullet. I had all the blueprints. I could have built this before they changed the level requirement, and now from what I'm hearing, I think it's a must build. Instead of my Kara up until now, in terms of an interceptor, the Kara is what I was relying on. So I'm going for the Saladin, guys. A good looking ship. Now it's 7 days build time. You seen the build requirements on it there as well. We'll take a quick look at it here again. The basic strength on a ship like that is around 200k, a little over it. 246, guys. And a nice set of stats on it by comparison to the Kara. And like the other faction ships at its level, it offers some sort of bonus when defending a station. So through the power of editing, guys, I'm going to magically get those 7 days out of the way, and we will take a look at some of the upgrade requirements for that tier 1 Saladin. So here we are, guys. An amazing bit of editing magic here, and we're ready to go with the USS Saladin. Don't be worrying about those attack messages there. I have the ECS Horizon out doing a little bit of passive grinding to get that experience points. You can see he's level 24 at the minute, so we want to get him up. So he's stuck out in a system currently beside a mine. I don't know if it's free. I'm just going to check that while I have you here and keep the anticipation for a Saladin building. So those mines have been taken. Tough foul time on the founder server at the minute, guys, with this mining event and people hitting each other and what have you. So there's a mine there. I'll send this on down. Hopefully I get left alone. I'm not really getting left alone too much at the moment. People are hitting my base and hitting my ships, and it seems as though the founder server has forgotten how to hold a ceasefire even temporarily to allow people to complete these events. But sure, we'll see how that goes. Let's hit this button for the USS Saladin and get right into it, guys. Now, as some of you are aware, this ship, I was able to build it before the level cap was raised. Didn't bother, and now I'm hearing amazing things out of it once it's upgraded with a critical hit crew with Gorkin and what have you. So I've been using Gorkin on the Centurion and stuff, so we might do a wee video on the Centurion and Bordis like I mentioned before. But there she is, guys, finally done. This will take the place now of the Kara, so let's jump in here now and just see what this ship looks like. There she is, sitting at 260k for me. Now bear in mind, guys, research and different things like that's going to affect it. These officers are going to affect it. The fact that it's in my base is going to affect it. I'll just demonstrate that. I'll just pop it out here for a second. So you see she's dropped down to 248. Stick it into the base, and it will get that little bit stronger. Collect these, call her back, and get her inside, and we'll take a look at her stats. Now that's a full set of that tier of faction ship that I have now. Now of course, here's the upgrade cost is the first thing. So we're looking at crystal, common refined crystal, and common refined gas, larger amount of crystal, and 1 million titanium. Again, stuff will be affected here, guys, by my research and different things as well. Common refined gas, 3-star parts, of course. Common crystal, gas and crystal, all common at the moment. Gas and crystal. So we'll jump back in here to some of this for a minute. The weapons on this machine, guys. First one up there is an energy phaser turret. And again, don't pay too much attention to the damage output or anything that it's saying for me there, because the crew and all will affect all of that. But let's go down here. The charge time is at 1, recharge time 3, and 1 shot on that energy weapon. Charge time, recharge time, and shots all at 1 there, guys. That's the engines. And the cargo bay. So it looks like that's kinetic, probably. Correct me, anybody out there that knows better. It looks like it's a kinetic weapon, and that's an energy weapon. So that'll fire every round. There's a recharge of 3 on that with 1 shot. So that looks like it'll fire off, and then for 3 rounds. Correct me on this as well, guys. Come into Hugo's channel, chat about it in there, on particularly around the Saladin here at the moment. But that's saying to me there that that'll fire off 1 powerful shot basically every 3 rounds. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this is why the critical hit crew is so important. That if you're after doing 3 rounds, that 1 big shot that it fires off could be the clinker that finishes off the battle. So I think that's the logic that people are going with. I think that's the reason why Gorkin and all of this. So sleek enough looking vessel, guys. Pretty cool. So again, this stuff down here, guys, is dependent on officers and sort of that sort of thing. So again, that's just what I'm sitting at there on the base stats. That can obviously be affected. And the crew that I'm looking at, I'd probably go with a crew like this. Some of you guys may disagree, but it's Gorkin and critical hit. So I'm looking at Curla here. Increases the critical hit damage with 25% on that kinetic weapon that fires every 3 rounds. And of course Gorkin will do the hull breach. 70% damage if hull breach. And there's a critical hit boost. So let me know your thoughts on that, guys. Of course, there are others that can go in here. Imral is one. Armor Pearson and Attack of the Officers. Who else have we got that could go in there? Wotelin, I think he's Interceptor, is he? Specific. Yeah, Interceptor's affinity. Increasing the dodge value of the ship. And of course good against battleships. So let me know your thoughts, guys. That's the USS Saladin. I'll go out and I'll tinker about with it and see what the story is. I'm sitting on 260k. Let's see what's sitting outside the station here. See if there's something we could go out and hit and see if it See if it performs. There's Federation patrols. Now they're interceptors, so we're very balanced. Let's take a wee look around here. See if there's anything other than interceptors. If we can get a battleship preferably. No hostiles appearing there. There's explorer types. No thank you. Level 30-31 battleship would be nice to test this out against. So lads, I'm going to do a wee bit of work on this Saladin. I have nearly enough for that upgrade, so I'm going to use a little bit of Latinum on it. I've hit a few low level ships on it. I'm going to show you the log on that, but I'm going to try it against a tough ship. So there's a few there. Just passive grinding with it to get the level up a wee bit. But if we look at some of this here, we see hefty damage there in that hit. Now that's a low level hostile, but that's still very nice damage output. I want to see if there's a critical here. So high numbers. No criticals there yet. So there's a critical there. So 278k is a nice hit against a low level hostile. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to this mission. I'm going to test it against that. Now before you lose your mind, I know that that's an interceptor, and I know, sorry, it's an interceptor against an explorer, and I know that it's not ideal in terms of the battle triangle, but for testing purposes, I want to see how this ship performs. I can always take this Bortus out and finish it off should it fail, and I fully expect to fail because it's not a very high level Saladin. 267k strength, but when I leave the station it's going to be less than that. So let's see how this 255k Saladin does against this hostile captain. At 418k. So we get in close. And here we go. Okay, so it didn't survive, but we'll take a look at the battle log now in a second. Okay, so we get those rewards, a nice haul of dilithium and a few speed ups, always welcome. I will call that ship back, set the Saladin to repair, and take a look at this log before we finish up, guys. So we only went 2 rounds. Nice damage in that first hit. Now if that had been a critical, it would have been nice to see. We may have actually defeated that if it was a critical hit. Leave your thoughts, guys. If you think that a critical hit would have finished that thing off, I think it would have. And also, of course, if it hadn't been an explorer, fair chance it would have done it as well. So there it is against a ship that it's arguably very weak against, but performing admirably, I would say, given how weak it is. It's half the strength of that ship. So it looks well. It looks like what people are saying in terms of the Saladin packing a lot of punch with a critical hit setup is the way to go. We'll test that further as time goes on, guys. So that's the USS Saladin. I hope it's been informative and useful to some people. Quite a nice little ship. And I intend, guys, at some point in the future, in the next couple of weeks, to do a little bit of a video on my Bortus and my Centurion. Now bearing in mind that Bortus there is quite strong. It's already teared up a fair bit. And the Centurion also teared up quite a bit. But we have the Saladin done, guys. I recommend people work towards it if they can. Hopefully they don't nerf it on us. And until the next video, guys, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Look after yourselves and look after each other as always. And I will catch all of you guys again very, very shortly. Cheers.